Walker, you had a small taste of pro ball after being drafted last year, and between two levels, pretty much hit 400.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, what was that like getting your feet wet, and how are you looking to kind of just keep taking steps forward this year?
It's a ton of fun. Obviously, a learning process. Learn a lot of different things. Learn about myself, my routine, how I need to go about it. Um, but it just goes back to being fun. I get to go out and play baseball as a job. It doesn't really get better than that. When it comes to this year, I'm just really looking forward to it. Like I said, I get to go out and do it every day, rain or shine. I'm going to get better. I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow. So I'm really pumped for it.
Yeah. Speaking of learning and growing, what are you really trying to focus in on this year to continue your success? I know small sample size last year, but
That's the funny thing. I don't even know. I have a full season ahead of me. This will be my first time playing probably 100+ games in a year, and I think I'm going to learn things I don't even know I'm going to learn. And so that's kind of, I think, I'm really excited for figuring out how to go about it. How to be successful, how to stay healthy, how to do all those things, and just figure it out. Just the process.
Yeah. What's something you might have learned since being drafted that has kind of been eye-opening for you?
Man, I've talked about routine a lot, but that is really a big one. Like, you have to learn to manage everything. Your body, your swings, how many throws you're going to make. Because when you're doing it every day, all the time, I want to get better. And I'm someone I can work, and sometimes that's detrimental. And so having to figure out that kind of middle line and what's good for me and allows me to get better, then allows me to go out here and stay healthy and be at my best, I think is kind of one of those things that I've learned in the short amount of time I've already been here. So.
Speaking of working hard and being successful,
Mm-hmm.
what has been your approach at the plate? Have you changed anything from since being drafted to now, and what you've worked on in your couple weeks in pro ball? Obviously, it's been paying off. Kind of what's been your approach at the plate, and what do you think has made you so successful?
The umpires help. The zone's a lot smaller. No, I mean, I feel like I've carried a very similar approach. Obviously, there's a lot more information now that you're in pro ball and you can have access to that. But when it comes to going up there, I try not to think too much. I put in the work, so I try to go up there and not think. You don't want to work on something necessarily while you're up at bat. And I'm someone that I try to hunt pitches in the middle and hit them early if I can and see it out of the hand. So it really just. It's been very similar, but yeah.
Walker, I'll jump in with one. This year's roster, there's a lot more of your draft class members on the roster compared to the group you were with last year. So how does it feel different being around, having Charlie and Brandon with you, who you went through the whole process with last year?
It's awesome. There are a lot of guys I'm friends with, Part of being thrown here last year is you really don't know a ton of people. And you may have heard of someone or met them briefly. But you're having to develop friendships, become a teammate, and not that that's hard, but it's definitely another part of that step that you have to do. So I think it's going to be really, really awesome having guys like Charlie and Brandon here just to be there with you and go through that same process with you. So
yeah, and all those pitchers too.
Yep.
What's the vibe like just in general so far these last couple of days?
Oh, it's awesome. I think everyone. One thing I can't harp on enough that the Twins have done is the character of just about every guy in this organization. Man, everyone gets along. I think everyone enjoys being around each other, and that's one reason I think that we're going to be successful. I think the team as a whole is going to go out and win ball games and do well because of that camaraderie there. So,
no, you unfortunately weren't able to participate in the spring breakout game, but that is what it is. What was valuable about just being around the big club, being around some of the top guys in this organization?
Same kind of thing. See how they go about it. What do they do when they strike out? What do they do when they have a great swing or they hit a double or whatever? And then seeing how they are on the dugout, how they treat each other, how they go about it, and then just being around them, man. Getting to know guys, developing that relationship with each other. So hopefully we all go out and play on the same team one day. And I think, like I said, what people don't see on the baseball field, what's in the locker room, what's in the clubhouse, is just as important, if not more important, than what happens out here. So I think just developing that relationship and meeting guys and building that is important.
Anybody you click with especially or got to talk to a little bit more in depth that you took anything from?
I try to talk to just about as many people as I can. Someone I met throughout the off season and the spring breakout game, Tanner Schobel, he's an older guy. He was Virginia Tech, so he played my Tar Heels and talked about that and got to know him really well. And then some of the other college guys and even some of the Latin guys you start talking to, and it's just not always easy. I need to work on my Spanish. But a lot of different guys that I began trying to just build that relationship with. So,
what's it mean to you to be the #1 prospect in this organization?
It's awesome. It is an absolute honor. You know, to be honest with you, I came in and it's like I haven't played enough games to really be named the #1 prospect. Like, it's awesome. There are dudes that have done a lot more than I have so far. So I truly think it's an honor and a blessing. I don't think I've showed enough that I deserve that over some of the other great ball players in this organization, but I'm going to continue working and doing everything I can to be the best ball player I can.
So speaking of the best ball player you can, right up the road in the Florida State League is a young guy by the name of Max Clark. Well, I assume you slightly know from.
Yes, sir.
You know, like it or not, him a Tiger, you a Twin, same division for the next 10 to 12 years. You're going to be compared to each other right down the line.
Yes, sir.
Tell the truth. Do you ever take a sneak peek to see what he's doing, or are you fine with just paying attention to what you can control?
Man, I haven't. I try to stay off of social media as much as I can.
Good for
You know,
you.
I deleted a couple apps actually recently, just trying to get off of it. Obviously, a lot of those top guys, I see what they're doing, whether or not I want to. And that's someone that, you know, we're going to be compared, like you said, for a long
Same
time.
division. Yep.
And I
Same
hope,
age.
I've said this about any other great ball player, I hope they play as good as they possibly can, and that I do the same so that we can go out and compete. You know, I want to see who's the best at their best. You know, I want those guys to do well and push me, motivate me, and things along those lines. So, I mean, honestly, I have no clue how he's done this spring. I'm assuming it's good because he's a good ball player. But I think having a guy like that in the same division, he does well, it's only going to push me and make me a better ball player. So.
Cool. Thanks, Walker.
Yeah,
Wait,
anytime.
I got one more.
Okay.
One more?
I know you guys are just coming together as a team, but to Mussel fans, what should really excite them about this crew? What do you think we're going to do really well this year?
I just think that these are a bunch of guys that are going to continue to move up in the organization. I mean, you look at this team, it is stacked with some guys that are really good ball players. And I think that they should be excited because I think we're going to win here and then every level that we're at. And hopefully, I think the majority of us, if not all of us, will one day be on the big league roster and will help us win up there. So I think that's the most exciting part. I think they're going to see a winning team when we go and move together, and hopefully that translates to the big league level.